Good morning. Good morning. I am Serafina Monique, and we are on our sixth day of our self love journey. Today, we will talk about our inner child. Okay, today we will talk about our inner child. Okay, so inner child is just an individual's childlike aspect, okay? It includes what a person learned as a child, okay? And then it says our inner child is the forgiven, free-spirited part of us that feels and experiences life as a child, okay? And then it goes on to say in some cases, our inner child can be wounded. Okay. In some cases, your inner child can be wounded. And it says the wounds can be a result of either trauma, abuse, or abandonment. Okay. These are some of the things that can cause your inner child to be wounded. Okay, these are some of the things that can cause your inner child to be wounded. Okay, and so along with that, you guys, I looked up arrested psychological development because they say, your emotions, your emotional growth stops at the age in which you were traumatized. Okay. So your emotional growth stops at the age you were traumatized. So arrested psychological development says trauma can freeze your emotional response at the age you experienced it. So at the age you've experienced trauma, that it can cause your emotional growth to freeze. Okay, it can cause your emotional growth to freeze. So I don't know, I just thought about how when you're younger, if you are younger, when you were younger, if something happened to you and you went to someone you trusted, you told someone you trusted, okay? And so if they didn't do anything about it, or if they didn't make you feel safe, then you had to do something to make yourself feel safe. Okay, you had to do something to make yourself feel safe. So sometimes that could have been like shutting down completely, or acting out. Okay, or maybe some people use food as comfort. Maybe food became their safe place. Okay, so childhood trauma can cause your emotional development to freeze. Okay, and so whatever works for us. Say if something happened to me and I told somebody and nothing was done, so the next time it happened, I'm not going to tell them because they didn't create a safe space for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shut down all the way. I'm just going to shut down completely, and I'm going to go inside myself, and that is my safe place. Okay. Or I'm going to eat. I'm going to go to food, and food is my safe place. Or I'm going to spaz out and I'll get attention that way, and that end up being my safe place. So it's important to know why you do what you do. Okay, so this inner childhood trauma, this is a lot of the whys to your whats. Okay, this can be the whys to some of your whats. So this could be the reason why you are doing what you are doing. Okay, so again, with me, I shut down, you guys, and I can't remember when I started just shutting down, and I can't remember when shutting down became my safe place. But I'm just now learning. Like over the last few months, I have just began to talk through my emotions. Okay, I'm just beginning to learn to to talk through my emotions. Okay, so if you listen to the video on yesterday, then you heard when I said I ask myself why a lot, because a lot of times I just go inside myself and I just shut down, and I really don't know why I'm shutting down. So now that I know, I use shut down as a safe place for me. I use shutting down as a coping mechanism for myself. Then now I'm trying to pull myself out of that, and I'm trying to figure out why I'm shutting down. Okay, if that makes sense. Okay, so I shut down, but in some instances I can't shut down. Like sometimes if I'm hurt, instead of saying I'm hurt, I'll probably spaz out. Okay, I will probably spaz out, and that comes. A lot of people do this, you guys. A lot of people have misplaced anger. Okay, so instead of showing feelings of hurt, instead of showing hurt feelings, they rather let it come across as anger, because sometimes people feel that showing hurt is a weakness. Okay, some people feel that showing hurt is a sign of, showing that you're hurt is a sign of weakness. So they rather come across as angry. Okay, so they rather come across angry as rather than hurt. Okay, so with me, you guys, I don't let a lot of people know. Like if something happened, if someone does hurt me, then, and if I let you know it hurts me, that means I trust you enough to want to protect my feelings. Okay, I trust you enough to want to protect my feelings and to do something so I won't hurt. Which again is not your responsibility, but if I express that to you, then that means I trusted you enough to I trusted you with my feelings. Okay, so I let you in. But if you get anger, honey, if you get anger out of me, you're not there yet. So this is what I'm saying. Me expressing that I'm hurt is a sign of me being vulnerable. Okay, it's a sign of me being vulnerable. Okay, so either I'm gonna shut down, or if I shut down or I spaz out on you, then But if I sit there and openly try to express myself, then that's me trying to be vulnerable with you. But I am just trying to what we have to do, you guys, we have to try not to crawl into our emotions. Okay, we have to try and find healthy outlets for this inner child. Okay, we have to try and find healthy outlets for this inner child, because if you notice, you guys, most time when you get upset, or you get when someone hurts you, you start acting like a child. You start acting like a child, and it's like you don't know how to communicate. Okay, you start acting like a child, you don't know how to communicate. So what we have to do is we just have to learn to parent that inner child. We just have to learn to parent our inner child. Okay, and I'm learning to parent my inner child. Okay, so with me, and you're gonna hear me a lot, me a lot today, because I don't know how else to explain it than to give you my my experience. Okay, I don't know how else to explain it. So with me, what I do when I find myself shutting down, like I literally have to talk to myself like I am a child, because that's what's coming out of me, that inner child. So that's where those emotions are coming from, my inner child. So I have to parent that inner child. So what I do is I have to tell myself, I have to visualize talking to my younger self. So I have to I visualize myself when I was younger, and then I'm talking to this little girl, and I'm telling this little girl, like, it's okay. Okay. I'm telling this little girl, it's okay. It's all right. I'm just comforting her. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to give yourself, you have to give yourself that comfort that you wish your parents had given you. You have to say stuff to that inner child that you wish was said to you when you were going through that. Okay, so that inner child, she is still within you. You have to nurture her. Okay, you have to nurture her. Okay, so let's see what else. So if it's something that I couldn't control, I tell myself, it wasn't your fault. Okay, because if we feel like we could have done something, like, we're going to beat ourselves up about it. Okay, we're going to dwell on it. We're going to beat ourselves up about it. So I just have to tell myself, you couldn't do anything about that. Don't wreck your brain trying to figure out what you could have done differently. Okay, it's okay. And I have to, and if it was my fault, I have to tell myself, it's okay. It's all right. We're going to use this as a learning experience. So basically, I'm trying to parent my inner child all while parenting my own child. Okay, so you have to parent your inner child, you guys. You have to parent your inner child. And if you don't know how to parent your inner child, then think about how effective you are being when parenting your actual child. Okay, and then turn that to yourself. Okay, turn that to yourself. So just like you tell your child, it's okay, just like you comfort your child, comfort your inner child. Okay, so I have to let myself know that it's okay to feel the way I feel. Okay, I have to validate my own feelings. Okay, so it's okay to be upset about this. It's okay to be hurt behind this. Like, your feelings are how you feel. Okay, so don't let anybody try and tell you how to feel, you guys. Don't let anybody try and tell you how to feel. Okay, so I just have to or like people say, that shouldn't make you mad, or that shouldn't hurt you, that shouldn't make you upset, but it does. Okay, so I just have to tell myself, it's okay to feel the way you feel, but don't dwell on it. Okay, it's okay to feel the way you feel. So I have to validate my own feelings. Okay, and then what I have to do is I have to create a safe space for myself. I have to create a safe space for myself, because when I was younger, my safe place was shutting down. Okay, and baby, you are 33 years old. You can't shut down. You can't just shut down. You have to communicate. You have to learn to communicate. So I have to create a safe space for my inner child. Okay, so that instead of shutting down, that shutting down can no longer be a safe place for you. Okay, so you have to learn to express your feelings. Okay, so I have to create a safe space for myself other than the shutting down. Okay, so I want to do away with the shutting down. I'm trying my hardest to do away with that. And then I just have to let myself know that I'm going to protect her. Okay, I have to let myself know that my inner child know that I'm going to protect her, and that I'm going to take care of her. Okay, so I have to show up for her, because nobody else is going to show up. Like, you guys, I don't know. I feel crazy. I feel a little crazy sitting here talking about it. But your inner child is a part of you. Okay. And before you can get to that place of complete healing, you have to deal with that inner child, okay? You have to deal with her, okay? So I just let her know that, I'm here and I care about her feelings and I'm going to protect her, okay? I'm going to protect her and I'm going to take care of her. I'm going to take care of her. So you guys, you have to make a commitment to yourself. You have to make a commitment to your inner child, because what happens is so many times what we do is we'll look for other people to protect that inner child within us. And it's not their responsibility to do that, okay? Because most times we end up being a burden, okay? So do yourself a favor and parent that inner child, okay? Parent your inner child, okay? So I just encourage you guys, write a letter to your inner child. Write a letter to your inner child, because a lot of you guys, a lot of us, we're dealing with childhood trauma, childhood abuse, or childhood neglect or abandonment, okay? You're dealing with these things. So I just encourage you to write a letter to your childhood self. Write a letter to your inner child and just let them know that they're safe, they're loved, okay? Let them know that you're going to show up for them and that you're going to protect them and show up for them and protect them, okay? And then again, let them know that they don't have to please people. Let them know that they don't have to please people. And because a lot of us, you guys, when you have childhood trauma, when you have to parent your inner child, when you are a child, you want to please people. You want to please people. So if you are still there emotionally, you still try to please people. Okay. And I forgot to do this at the beginning. Okay. Okay. It was like signs that you may have a wounded inner child, okay? A wounded inner child, okay? And it says you feel guilty for standing up for yourself, okay? If you feel guilty for standing up for yourself, if you struggle to say no, if you people please, okay? If you feel responsible for other people's feelings, okay? You may have a wounded inner child, okay? If you have difficulties setting boundaries, okay? So if you feel something is wrong with you, okay? So you may have inner child wound, okay? Your inner child may be wounded, okay? So if you feel as if you're not good enough, if you attract unhealthy relationships, or if you are a perfectionist, okay, you may have a wounded inner child that you need to work on healing, okay? You may have a wounded inner child that you need to work on healing, okay? So I just encourage you guys, if you are parents, okay? If you are parents, honey, I just encourage you to heal for your kids, okay? Heal for your children. And I just encourage you to show up. Show up for your children. Show up for your children so that you aren't creating kids, so that your kids don't have to go through the same cycle that you're going through, so that you're not creating those same childhood traumas that you had to deal with, okay? So that you're not creating those childhood traumas within your children, okay? So build a healthy relationship with your children so that they won't have to go searching for that relationship in someone else, okay? So if you are able, honey, if you are able to take care of your children, take care of your children. Okay, show up for your children, take care of your children, because no one is going to love your children the way you love your children. Okay, so do yourself a favor, do your children a favor, and show up for them. Again, if you don't create these healthy relationship with your kids, honey, what they are going to do when they grow up is they are going to have a longing for that relationship, and they're going to seek that relationship elsewhere. Okay, they're going to seek that relationship elsewhere. Okay, so the mother-daughter bond. Okay, the mother-daughter bond. If your child didn't have a bond with your inner child didn't have a bond with their mother, your inner child is still going to want a bond with your mother. Okay, and if she can't get a bond with her mother, what she's going to do is she's going to look for someone else to create that bond with. Okay, and so whenever she finds someone that she sees as a mother figure, okay, so what she's going to do is she's going to allow herself to be vulnerable enough to open up to that person. Okay, she's going to allow herself to be vulnerable enough to open up to that person, and she's going to try and because she's longing for that mother-daughter bond. So what she's going to do, she's going to try to she's going to open up, and she's going to try and create that mother-daughter bond with whoever she sees as a mother figure. Okay, whoever she sees as a mother figure. So sometimes with that, you guys, sometimes it's like that just opens you up to more hurt sometimes, because like I said, no one is going to love you the way your parents love you. Okay, no one is going to love you the way your parents love you. So if you open up to somebody and you see that they don't feel the same about you, or they don't feel anything towards you, or they don't care for you the way you care for them, it's going to hurt you. Okay, it's going to hurt you, and it's going to take you to and it's going to be like, I trusted you enough to let you see my inner child. I was vulnerable with you, and it's like you hurt me. So either she's going to shut down or she's going to lash out, because shutting down was her safe place. Okay, but because she's so hurt, what she's going to do is lash out. Okay, what she's going to do is she's going to lash out because she was hurt. Okay, she's going to lash out. Okay, so along with that mother-daughter bond, every child longs for that father-daughter relationship. Okay, so think about your father, you guys, especially you ladies. So your father is someone who is stern but still gentle with you. Okay, so if she didn't have that father-daughter bond growing up, she's going to search for that in men. Okay, she's going to search for that in men. Okay, so that's why I encourage you guys. I encourage you, if you have children, honey, you need to get it right for your kids. Okay, you need to get right for your kids, because the last thing we need is grown kids walking around. Okay, grown people walking around that deal with their emotions as if they were 5 years old. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to parent our inner child, because when they go searching for that, honey, and when they go searching for that and stuff go left, it's gonna hurt them the most, because it's like, this is what they're saying: I expose the most vulnerable parts of me to you. So I exposed my inner child to you. Okay. So I trusted you with her. Okay. And then they're going to say you were supposed to nurture her. Okay. You were supposed to nurture her. And they're going to say you were supposed to protect her, because again, they're looking at you for this motherly bond that they didn't have, or they're looking at you for this father-daughter bond that they didn't have. Okay. And so they're going to drop that on your shoulders. Okay. You supposed to protect her. She felt safe with you and you let her down. So this is her talking about her inner child. Okay. You let that little girl down. You let that little girl down. I normally don't open up to people, but I open up to you. I showed you that inner child, and you let her down. Okay. So it's like that inner childhood experience, that rejection, that abandonment, that trauma is like it's happening to her all over again. Okay. So then she's going to go right back into the fight or flight. Okay. She's going to go back to the fight or flight. Okay. So I just encourage you guys to get it right. Get it right. Okay. Parent that inner child. It may seem crazy, honey. I feel so crazy sometimes. I feel so crazy sometimes doing these exercises, but they work. Okay. They work. And so let me just encourage you guys. If someone tells you they are broken, that's your cue to exit stage left. Okay. So what you need to do is, and then sometimes people aren't going to tell you they're broken. So what you need to do is you need to heal yourself so that you can recognize a broken person. Okay. And when you recognize a broken person, you need to exit stage left, honey. You need to exit stage left, because what's going to happen is they are going to depend on you for their healing. Okay. So whether they are doing this purposely or not, they are going to look to you as they're going to look to you for healing. So I just encourage you, honey, do them a favor, do yourself a favor, and exit stage left. Okay. And because until they heal, they're going to depend on you to nurture that inner child. And it's not your responsibility. It's not your responsibility to nurture that inner child within them. Okay. It's not your responsibility to do that. And, that person, they could genuinely love you. They could genuinely care for you. But until they heal, until they begin healing that inner child, until they begin healing from that brokenness, then what benefit are you, how is that relationship going to benefit you? Okay, so what's going to end up happening is they're going to end up being a burden to you. They're going to end up being a burden to you without even realizing it. Okay. And then let me tell you this too, you guys. When I first started, this was a couple of years ago, when I began looking up attachment styles, and I recognized my attachment style. And the girl, she said, so if you don't have, she said in her video, if you don't have a healthy attachment style, then just a quick second. Give me a quick second. Okay, she said if you don't have a healthy attachment style, whenever you begin healing, if that person you are with don't have a healthy attachment style, then the relationship isn't going to work. Okay. Because what's going to happen is, and most of the time, if you are broken and in a relationship, then most of the time that the person you are with has some kind of brokenness within them as well. Okay, because what's going to happen is when you begin healing, you're going to recognize that brokenness. Okay, you're going to recognize that brokenness, and you're going to know that this is something that I need to work on. Okay, and let me tell you this: if you are broken and you attract a person with a healthy attachment style, okay, either, well, what they're going to do is they're not going to allow your brokenness to bring them down. Okay, they're going to tell you they're going to tell you, you go heal, honey, you got some healing to do. They're going to tell you, go heal. Okay, and so, but what they're not going to do is allow you and your brokenness to come into their lives and create chaos. Okay, because at one time they may have been broken themselves. Okay, at one time they may have been broken themselves, and they've had to crawl out of a place of brokenness. Okay, they had to crawl out of dark places to where they felt like they felt like they wasn't going to make it. They had to crawl out that space. It's a lot of work that they had to put into getting out of that space. Okay, so what they're going to do is they're not going to let you come in and potentially take them back to that place. Okay, because it was hard to come out of. Healing is hard work. Okay, so I refuse to let anybody bring their brokenness over here and let their brokenness bring me down. Like, no, I love you, but you got to go heal from some things. Okay. Okay. And let's see. Again, heal for your children. Okay. Heal for your children. And whenever you get to a place of peace, honey, whenever you get to a place of peace, don't let nobody come in. Don't let nobody come in and disturb that peace. Don't let nobody come in and take you away from that, because it was hard to come by. Okay, finding that peace was hard to come by. So I would be crazy to let somebody come in and burden me with their stuff. Okay, so if you are broken, if you have that inner child to heal, go heal her. Go heal him, so that you can, if you meet a good person, you won't sabotage it. You won't mess it up. Okay, you won't sabotage it, because people aren't going to risk their peace for they're not going to risk their peace for anyone. Like, you can't disturb my peace, honey. Either it's you or my peace. I choose my peace, and I'm gonna shoot the deuces to you. Okay, and that's just what it is, and you can't blame people for that. Okay, and then I just wanted to say this to you guys. Sometimes, like, healthy people, when we see somebody that's halfway normal, we see somebody that's normal, that has a normal attachment style, or like a healthy attachment style, then we look at them like they're crazy. I don't know, it's not normal to us. We look at it like it's they seem crazy because we're so used to toxic. Okay, they seem crazy because we're so used to toxic, because we have been conditioned to think that love is toxic, and it's not. Okay, we've been conditioned to think that oh, he's slashing my tires. Oh, he's doing it because he loved me oh so much. Oh, he done busted up my third phone this week, but he's just doing that because he loved me oh so much. Okay, so he done choked me and threw me against the wall, but he's just doing that because he loves me oh so much. And it's like, no, honey, that's not love. That's not love. And if it is, I don't want it. Okay, because it's so crazy, you guys. We have been conditioned. I mean, look on the TV, honey. Look on the TV, and we have been so conditioned to believe that all this toxic mess is love. And it's like, no, honey, that's a cry for help. That's your sign to leave. That's your sign to leave. And you sit there and you think, oh, he just doing that because he loved me. No, you better run, honey. You better go. So you guys, I just encourage you, if you are in situations, oh my God, if you are in situations to where people can't control their temper, okay, if people are lashing out on you or messing up your things, like those are signs, those are red flags, you guys. If people are threatening you, okay, if people are threatening you, if people are tearing up your stuff, breaking your phones, that's not love, honey, because it's gonna escalate until something bigger and bigger and bigger, until they do something that they can't come back from. So it's not love, sweetheart. Like we can't normalize this toxic stuff and call it love, okay? So I just encourage you, you guys, I don't know, it's so heartbreaking. I just encourage you to love yourself enough to work on yourself and know your self-worth, okay? So work on yourself. And something that I do is one song that I love, you guys, I love Beyonce's Brown Skin Girl. Brown Skin Girl, I love that song because that is, when I sing that song, honey, that's me singing to my inner child, honey. That's me singing to that little 5-year-old girl, okay? That's me telling her, I'll never trade you for anything, okay? I'll never trade you for anybody else, okay? Because I have traded her. I have put other people's needs before her needs, okay? But this is me. I love that song, you guys. This is me telling her, I'm never going to trade you for anybody else. This is me telling her, you can depend on me. You can depend on me. You can trust me to protect you, okay? You can trust me to protect you, and trust yourself to protect yourself so that you don't go looking for anybody else to protect you, okay? Trust yourself enough to protect yourself. Speak to that inner child, you guys. Like, it makes a ton of difference, okay? Speak to that inner child and pray. Pray, honey. You're going to need God by your side. You're going to need God by your side, because what we are doing out here is we are trying to fill a void that is within us, okay? So with me, I was trying to fill a mother-daughter bond that I longed for, okay? I was trying to fill that void I was trying to fill that void of not having that father-daughter relationship, okay? I was trying to fill that void, okay? But I was looking for people to fill that void, okay? But I just had to get to the point to where you parent that inner child, and then that void that's within you, honey, you let God fill that void, okay? You let God fill your void. You can't do everything, you guys, which is why self-love is not only the mental side. It's not only mental growth. It's not only physical growth, but it is also physical growth. It's not only mental growth. It's not only physical growth, but it's also spiritual growth, which means you need to get your father by your side, which means in order for you to get your father by your side, you know, you have to do get your father by your side. Okay. So again, with me, you guys, I was like, I'm not going to do the spiritual growth. This was me. I said, I'm not going to do the spiritual side because I know God is going to require me to change some things. But I just wanted to tell you guys, no matter where you are, no matter what you are doing, I just encourage you to get your father by your side, okay? Where whatever point of your life you are in, get your father by your side. Don't try to change and then bring your father by your side. Bring your father by your side, and then he will help you change. Okay? So don't try to come to God. Don't try to come to God as this perfect being. Don't try to be this perfect being before coming to God, okay? Before coming in God's presence, okay? Come in the presence of God as you are, honey. Come in the presence of God as you are, and let God's presence change you. Let God change you, okay? So, again, I just encourage you guys to write a letter to your inner child. Let them know that you are there. You are going to protect them. Okay, and I don't know, you guys, if you are dependent upon somebody else to protect you, protect that, inner child, I just encourage you to, because it can be a burden to people, okay? It can be a burden to people because actually it's not their responsibility to heal what is broken within you. Okay, it is not their responsibility to make you happy, just like it's not your responsibility to heal anybody else, and it's not your responsibility to make anybody else happy. So I just encourage you to begin that healing journey, you guys. And you may need a counselor. You may need a counselor, honey. I just encourage you, if you can get a counselor, get a counselor. And some of you guys' jobs, they may pay for counselors, okay? So that's something that you can look into, okay? So work on that inner child. Work on that inner child so that your child isn't, so that you're not longing for that relationship that your parents didn't give you when you were younger. Okay? So work on that and work on yourself so that your child don't grow up longing for that same relationship that you're longing for. Okay? Work on yourself, heal yourself, and it's going to be fine. It's possible. It's going to be fine. It's a journey. It's a process. But you just have to do the work. Okay? You have to do the work. You have to show up for yourself. Show up for yourself. So be compassionate with yourself. Show compassion to yourself. Okay? So talk to yourself. You have to speak to your inner child the way you would your child, okay? Because a lot of us, that's what we are longing for is, we just have to heal that inner child, okay? So that is all for today, you guys. I just encourage you to continue on, do the work, okay? And I pray that you guys have a blessed rest of your day. So I am Seraphina Monique. You guys be blessed and be a blessing.